Okay, welcome to the session. In today's session, I'm going to discuss about the pyramids, problems on pyramids. The first problem here, I'm going to written on the square pyramid. Here, I written the question on the square pyramid. A square pyramid, 35 millimeter of sides of base and 65 millimeter axis length rest on HP on one of its edges of the base, which is inclined to VP at 30 degree, full stop. Draw the projections of the pyramid when the axis is inclined to HP at 45 degree. This was the condition what they are given. Here we need to construct the square pyramid, but we know that pyramid means it have the apex and the base. From the base to the apex, it is bounded by the triangular faces, that is called as the pyramid. Okay, now it is a square pyramid. Of sides, what is the sides they are given? They are given the sides as 35 millimeter sides of base. Now we need to construct a square of sides 35 millimeter, and also the condition is very much clear here, that is nothing about the base edges of the pyramid is resting on HP. Here they clearly saying that the first position will be resting on HP, not on VP. That is the condition. Based on that condition, here I am going to draw a square pyramid resting on edge condition on HP. Okay, this is the square pyramid resting on edge condition. Now I will go for showing the dimensions of it. All the base edges are the same dimension, that is nothing but 35 millimeter. Now we know that it is a pyramid. When it's come to the pyramid, this is the pyramid I am going to consider now. When it's come to this particular object, here they are clearly saying that it is the base edge is resting on HP. In square pyramid we have 4 base edges. I can rest any of the edges on the base HP. By taking this as the consideration, I have written the object like this, by keeping the base edge parallel to VP and resting on HP at some distance from the axis line. Okay, next point is, this is the pyramid. If I view this object from the top, all the base slant edges which are get connected from the base edges to the apex point is clearly visible. Okay, now because of that, I am going to dark all the base edges and the slant edges which is get connected to the apex. Okay, this is what the consideration they are given. Now I will go for naming it. This edge is called as the A, this as the B, C and D, and when it's come to the apex point, we have the axis present over there. Now I will go for drawing the projection lines to get the front view of this object. To get the front view of this object, I will going to draw the projection lines to the axis line and also from the center of the pyramid. Now here they clearly given in the problem, the axis length is 65 millimeter. By considering that condition, we need to draw the axis length as 65 millimeter. Many of the students will going to commit mistakes by taking slant edge length as 65 millimeter. That is totally wrong. You need to consider the axis length, because they clearly mentioned in the problem the axis length is 65 millimeter, not the slant edges length. For that, I will go for drawing an axis of chain line of length 65 millimeter. Okay, this is the axis. If I write the length of the axis, it will be 65 millimeter. Now, after writing the axis is over, next I will go for drawing the slant edges. Okay, now I'll go for naming it. Now I'm writing the front view of the object. From this side, the front view is clearly visible for us. A, B is clearly visible. This is the front view. I'll go for writing it as A dash. B is clearly visible for the observer. Next, I'll go for writing D dash within the brackets and C dash within the brackets, because for the observer this face, this triangular face ABO is clearly visible, and this DOC is hidden face of the hidden face for the observer. Okay, next when it's come to the axis, O1 dash I'll go for writing at the base and O dash at the top. Now if I show the object, how the front view I written over here is nothing about, okay, from the I written the axis, from the observer point of view, the observer will going to project the object by looking the object from the observer place. When it's come to that particular thing, they are viewing the object. Only this particular face is clearly visible for the observer. This face is clearly visible, and this face will not be visible because it is opposite to the ABO, what I have written over here. Based on that, I have written the front view of the object. Okay, this here you need to consider the axis length. Next, you need to view the object from this side, from the observer side, because we are doing the first angle projection. When it's come to the first angle projection, we know that the object is kept between the observer and the plane of projection. Now I am keeping the object, you people are the observer, you people are viewing the front view, you people are writing the top view. Based on that, I have written the first position. Next, we need to consider the second case. Next, they are clearly saying that the edges of the base which is inclined to VP at 30 degree. That case is not considered at the second position. Next, I will go for the next sentence, that is nothing about the projections of the pyramid when the axis is inclined to HP at 45 degree. When it's come to this particular point, here they clearly saying that the axis is get inclined to HP at 45 degree. Now, I keep the object in the first position like this. It is resting on the one of its edges of the base on HP. Next condition, I will going to tilt this object to certain angle. That is nothing but by considering the axis inclination as 45 degree. The first position, I kept the object like this. I have written the top and front view of the object. In the second condition, I will go for tilting the object by considering the axis angle as 45 degree. By considering the axis angle as 45 degree, the next thing will be, I need to go for writing the top view and front view of this square pyramid, how it will going to look. Now, when it's come to that particular point, here one more important point you need to remember, that is nothing about, here axis is inclined at 45 degree to HP, not the slant edge. That is very much important. Only the axis is get inclined. Now when it's come to that particular point, if I write the axis 45 degree, many of the students will get confused how they have written their angle. Based on that, here how much is the angle they given to incline to HP at 45 degree, that case should be considered. Now in the first position, the axis is get inclined at an angle 90 degree to the base. We know that because it will be a vertical line, it will be a horizontal line. If I measure the angle from axis to the base line, it is 90 degree. Based on that, what I will going to consider, I will going to draw an axis inclined at an angle of 45 degree. Before that, 90 will be the known angle and 45 degree will be the given angle. Now I will going to subtract that 90 minus 45, it will going to give 45 again. Based on that, I will going to write the base first inclined at an angle of 45 degree because axis is inclined to base at 90 degree in the first position. Based on that, I will going to minus the 45 degree angle. By minusing it, I will going to get 45 degree again. Because of that, first I will going to consider the base edge inclined at an angle of 45 degree. Now, here the base is inclined at an angle of 45 degree. In the question they given axis is inclined, but for the construction purpose I have written the base is get inclined at an angle of 45 degree. Now, it's very easy for me to construct the remaining edges of the object. Now, I am going to measure from A dash to O dash, B dash to O dash. By measuring the length from A dash to O dash with the help of the compass, I will going to cut an arc at certain distance from the base edges. Now we know that this will be A dash and this will be D dash, this point will be B dash and this point will be C dash. Now to get the slant edges B dash to O dash and A dash to O dash, I am measuring the length from B dash to O dash and the same length will be equal to this particular side also, A dash to O dash. Now I cut the arc, now I will go for joining it. Okay, after this, I will go for mark the axis exactly at the center by measuring this length. I will go for marking the axis exactly at the center. By doing all this, next I will go to connect in a chain line okay. Now this is the axis, I am going to call it as O1 dash, I am going to call this point as O dash. Now if I measure the angle of this particular axis, again it will be exactly 45 degree. Because here the base edge to the base edge, the axis is get inclined at 90 degree, but the given axis should get inclined at 45 degree. I have subtracted 90 minus 45, I am going to get 45. Because of that, I consider the first as the base edge construction part by considering the angle as 45. Next, the writing of the front view is over in the second position. The object will be like this. Now, you people need to view the object from the top to write the top view of the object. Now, I am going to draw the projection lines first. I will go for drawing the projection lines. Once after drawing the projection line is over, from A dash, I am drawing the projection line. It will going to meet the D dash exactly here. I am going to call this point as D. I am going to extend this with a thin line where it will going to meet A in the first position, top view. Next, I will come to this particular point, that is nothing but B dash. I am drawing the projection line. I have extended this line till here. Okay, this point is C, this point is A. Now, by viewing from the top, we have three parameters need to be considered to write the visible and invisible edges. But before that, I will go for drawing all the lines. I am going to call this point as O. I am going to call this as O1. Now I will go for the checking the visible and invisible edges. When it's come to that particular point, we people are viewing the object from the top. The first condition is the faces and edges near to the observer are clearly visible. Okay, when it's come to that particular condition, faces and edges. Now if I view the object from this top view, for me A dash to O dash and O dash to D dash, it's clearly visible. Means one triangular face is clearly visible. Means from A dash to O dash means O to D, O to A is clearly visible for me. Okay, now this triangular face is clearly visible for me, I have written. Next, second condition will be the outermost edges are visible. Outermost edges are visible when it's come to the top view in the second position. Outermost edges are visible will be considered in the top view of the object. Now O, C, D, A, B. O, C, D, A, B, O will be the outermost edges. Those edges are clearly visible. Okay, just observe here. I have written, drawn the visible and invisible edges in the second position by considering the two parameters now. One is by looking at the top view, the faces and edges near to the observer are clearly visible. If I view the object from the top, for me O dash to A dash is clearly visible, O to A is clearly visible, O dash to D dash is clearly visible, O to D is clearly visible, and also from A to D is clearly visible. I written A to D. Next, second condition will be the outermost edges or outermost boundaries are clearly visible. When it's come to this particular case, for me O, C, D, A, B, O will be the outermost edges. Because of that, I have written all the visible condition. And one more condition is there, that is nothing about above the axis are clearly visible while writing the top view. Where above the axis means again the only two slant edges, that is nothing but O dash to A dash, O dash to D dash is clearly visible, and the one invisible edge, that is nothing but the resting edge is invisible, because if I view the object from this side, this B dash to C dash is invisible for me. Okay, I written B dash to C dash or B to C will be invisible, and here this is the chain line. I'll go for writing the chain line here. Okay, this is the second position of the object. Okay, next I'll go for writing the third position of the object, which will going to clearly give the final position of the square pyramid. Now I'll go for considering the second condition here. what they are clearly saying here, the resting edge is inclined to VP at 30 degree. Means just in the first position, we will not going to decided that the resting edge, which is the resting edge, whether it will be AB, AD or BC will be, the decision will not going to happen. When it's come to the second position, the clear indication that B to C will be the resting edge. Because you can clearly see that the B to C will be resting on the horizontal plane. Just observe here, the first position I kept the object like this by considering any of the edges parallel to VP. Next condition, I go for tilting the object towards the right side. By tilting the object towards the right side, I clearly know that this edge will be the resting edge. This edge will be the resting edge. That edge is nothing about B dash to C dash. Now again I'll go for constructing the last position. But before constructing the last position, we should check the base edge or the resting edge length will going to remain same or not. Means in the first position, the resting edge BC length will be 35 millimeter. Again, if I come for the second position, the resting edge length will be again, it will be 35 millimeter. If the resting edge or the axis length get changed, next we'll go for finding out the beta angle. That is very much essential. Now I'll go for drawing in a line which is get inclined at an angle of 30 degree. Now here I have drawn a line inclined at an angle of 30 degree with respect to vertical plane. Okay, now first position will be like this, second position axis inclined to HB like this. I written the top and front view. Next, this edge, this is the resting edge. This resting edge should get inclined at an angle of 30 degree to VP. Now I am tilting this object like this. Now by considering this board as vertical plane, this floor as horizontal plane, now this object is, or the edge will be inclined at an angle of 30 degree to the vertical plane. This is what the final position of the object. First position will be like this, second position will be like this, third position will be like this. Now I'll go for drawing the top and front view of the object. Now I'll come to measure this length. Once after measuring length is over, I'll go for constructing the same object over here. Okay, now from here I am drawing the hidden line, that is nothing but the base edge length. After measuring it here, the base edge length. Now I need to construct the remaining portion of the object. It's very easy to construct the remaining portion. This line I already written over here. I'm going to call it as B and C. Next I go for constructing the C to D and A to B. Now for this C to D will be in a straight line. Again for this line it will be in a vertical line. Now by keeping the protractor, I am going to mark 90 degree towards this side of length, whatever the length they are given. Next I am going to join this line. I am measuring this length, I have drawn a line. I have measured this length, I have drawn a line. Next again it will be, I will go for marking it A, B, C and D. First I drawn this edge over here. Next this edge will be perpendicular to H. It is get inclined at an angle of 90 degree. By keeping the protractor here, I have written a 90 degree mark. Again from B point I mark the 90 degree with the help of the protractor. Then I join the line. Okay, then I'll go for naming it A, B, C, D. Next I need to go for constructing this O point, that is nothing but the apex point. To construct the apex point, I am going to measure the length from O to C or O to B. If I measure the length from O to C from the compass, the same dimension will going to remain for O to B. Now I will go for cutting the arc from O to C and O to B. This point is called as the O point. Next I will go for joining it. Next, remaining part of the construction is very easy. I will go for connecting all the slant edges. Okay, next will be I need to measure the length from O to O1 to draw the chain line. Now I measure the length from O to O1 with the help of the compass. I will come here. I will going to mark a point. I will going to call it as O1. And this will be the chain line. Okay, now this last position or top view I have written here by tilting the object like this. For the base edge, resting edge inclined to VP at 30 degree. Now I need to go for writing the front view of the object. While writing the front view of the object, I will go for drawing the projection lines from all the points now here the projection line of the top view in the last position should meet the projection line of the front view in the second position. Now I am drawing the line from D point. I will extend this line where it will going to meet the D point. Okay, this I will going to call it as D dash. Next I will come to C point. Here the C will be the one of the point which will be resting on the edge. Next I will come to B point. Again B will be the resting point. I will go for B dash. Next I will come to A point. Okay, now this will be the A point. Again one more is left, that is nothing but the axis. I will go for projecting the axis. This will be O1 dash. Next I will go for extending this O point. Again I will come from the second position front view to meet the O point by drawing the projection lines. This will be O dash. Okay, now I am going to show the arrows. I have written the projection lines for understanding purpose. Okay, now I need to connect the object. I need to connect all the lines to get the clear visibility of the object. Again I will going to apply the same conditions here. Now we are viewing the object from this particular position. By viewing the object from this particular position, the base is clearly visible for the observer. The base is clearly visible for the observer. Now, this is what the base edge which is get inclined to VP at 30 degree. Now, if I ask you people to project the front view of the object, this base edge is clearly visible for us based on first condition. The faces and edges near to the observer are clearly visible. Now, I'll go for connecting all the base edges with the dark line. Okay, next condition will be outermost edges are clearly visible. When it's come to this particular point, I'll come to O dash point, O dash, D dash, C dash, B dash and O dash. These are the outermost edges which are clearly visible for me. Because of that, I'll going to draw in a thick line from this particular point, O dash to D dash, D dash to A dash, D dash to C dash, C dash to B dash. Again, O dash to B dash is clearly visible for me. According to the second condition. Again, if while viewing the object from this particular face or this particular stage, for us, one of the slant edge will be near to us. That is nothing but O to A is near to the observer. I am going to write O to A is clearly visible for us. And O dash to C dash is the only edge which is not visible for the observer because it is opposite to this particular slant edges. I am going to make it as an hidden lines by drawing in a dashes lines. And one more I need to draw, that is nothing about the chain line which is get connected from O dash to O1 dash. Okay, this is the final position of the object when it's come to the square pyramid which is resting on edge condition. First position will be the simplest position. The square pyramid will be resting on one of its edges on HV. Next position, they given the axis inclination with VHP, and the last position, the resting edge is inclined to VP at 30 degree. That what I have shown here. This is the final position of the object.